viewers, as the intro previously stated, my name is Alex. I am a student studying independent game design in the Netherlands. This video is for my audio-visual course, and I'd like to take a few minutes out of your life today to talk about piracy in the field of video games specifically, which is a little closer to me. So, first ever YouTube submission, we'll see how it goes. So, on with the show. Right. We have a lot of ground to cover on such a broad topic, and it's still a major discussion point for many people. It's also a problem that will most likely stay relevant in the future. In this presentation, I want to go over the major arguments I hear between publishers and pirates, starting off with piracy versus stealing. What defines them, and where does, quote, harmless file sharing end? Another major discussion point is whether pirated games are lost sales, and how borrowed or used games contribute to this problem. My final point is if worrying about piracy and the means to defend it are doing even more damage to the industry than piracy itself. After these points, I will round off with my own take on piracy as a whole.
Argument 1.
Contrary to popular belief, piracy does not equal stealing, necessarily. There are many ways one can pirate, but in general, file sharing is defined as copying an existing file and passing it on, whereas stealing is taking the original product away from its owner. The former arguably does not inhibit the retailer's ability to turn a profit, while the latter steals the actual item in question, meaning the retailer no longer has an item to sell. A far more damaging practice is selling pirated copies for less, or worse yet, as if it was your own product. This is where copyright laws come into play, and copying files and sharing them may technically be copyright infringement, but the actual trademark is damaged and devalued as a result of third parties selling fakes. It may even lead to consumer confusion as to which product is actually authentic. These damages are a big slice of the damage numbers estimated by publishers. Although arguably the chance of most game consumers not knowing that Egg Division Studios might not actually be making Call of Duty games, there is still risk involved. The problem is mostly prominent in Asia, though.
Argument 2.
How often have you bought a game at full price and later regretted it? Have you ever been frustrated by lack of demos or gameplay available for a new release you've been waiting for? Most people have probably experienced this at one point or another, and I know I certainly have. This lack of options drives many to commit what I would like to call test drive piracy, where people will get copied files to try to product before buying it. If this is indeed what they intend to do, I see no reason this shouldn't be allowed. After all, they are filling a perceived gap in convenience and availability. Lost sales are really only there if the product is substandard. Another interesting way to look at things is piracy as a means of helping the market grow where initially it is claimed there was a loss. To clarify, think to yourself, have you ever borrowed or pirated a game only to discover that it's so brilliant that you decided to buy any sequels that came after? I have. For example, I borrowed Dragon Age Origins from a friend, played it a little, put it down for a few months, played it again, and loved it. I personally bought both the expansion and the sequel, and I look forward to Part 3. Without this kind of sharing, that may have never happened. And most people don't have any qualms about spending some money supporting developers they know can deliver great games. It's a sense of deception that's driving people to pirate. Valve's Gabe Newell said it himself. Once you create service value for customers and ongoing service value, piracy seems to disappear, right? It's like, oh, you're still doing something for me, then I don't mind the fact that I paid for this. It's also that gamers are generally good people. If you're making a good game, you've done a good job from both the quality and the communication standpoint, they're more than happy to give you their money.
Argument 3.
Along the course of the interview I quoted earlier, Mr. Newell goes on about our next topic as well, DRM and U. Many publishers have tried and failed to keep their IPs safe from pirate hands. The fundamental flaw in how this is handled can be brought down to the fact that it's making real paying customers feel unwanted or untrustworthy. Nobody wants to sit through awful DRM or anti-piracy ads when they've already paid for the product. If they wanted to pirate it, they would have. It makes no sense to punish your customers to the extent where the game simply shuts down if your internet connection isn't always rock solid. It's about a positive value to legit software instead of a negative one. Instead of, oh, if I pirate it I can play for free and not get DRM, We need more along the lines of, oh, if I buy legit, it always runs, I get tech support, I get free updates, I need online features, etc. It's like all the panic about people pirating software is driving all the paying honest customers right in the opposite direction.
Argument 4.
So, is there a gray area? Is there a happy medium to be reached in all of this? First off, it's important to understand that we're working with two main groups here. The people that pirate for a reason, and the people who want to get anything for free anyway. The latter group will not stop pirating or trying to pirate, and it's pointless to waste your time and try to come after them, unless they're seriously hurting your trademark. The first group, however, are the people that don't mind spending their pay on something worthwhile. Finding a way to beat piracy at its own game will take an embrace instead of a push. Make demos and gameplay more available, and be digital, be current, and don't rely on physical means of distribution. Attach positive reinforcement and perks to legitimate games instead of punishing your most loyal customers. And perhaps most importantly, don't release shoddy games. Steam and iTunes are examples of successful digital distribution platforms, and they prove that people aren't unwilling to pay for content as long as it's at the same convenience as their pirated counterparts. I think the sooner we all embrace these ideas, the better the situation will become. Piracy might be a bad thing now, but it's actually born from good ideas. Either way, I hope this video has given you some food for thought. Alright guys, that was it for me. Thanks for watching.